Welcome to Knicks Home Court with your host. My name is Greg Armstrong. This is episode number 45, and I would not be real, and I would not be keeping it real if I didn't start with this.
To be about one guy, because if you're playing on the Chicago Bulls, it was about Michael Jordan. You're playing on the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. It's going to be about the relationship with the second best player on the team to LeBron James. Am I wrong in that assessment?
I just think that you just care entirely too much. Like, it's just, I get it. I get it. Ask the questions. Relationship. Here it is. But you keep forgetting them. Like, basketball is a team sport. I'm around different players all the time. I understand it's 1-2, 2-1, however you want to slice it. In terms of, there is no personal issue. There is no, let me figure out what's going on. Let's dive in, and maybe we're missing something here. I made the decision as a man. And as a man over there, Max Kellerman, just respect it and leave it alone.
Yep. You heard right. I'm not going to lie. That cracked me up. You know what it is? My thing is, I feel like ESPN is always looking for the drama angle. I mean, to be honest, us Americans, we love drama. That's why those are the most popular shows. That's why you have these housewives shows. You have all these crazy shows. They're always looking for the drama angle, because people like drama and gossip. I told you, it's not a sports station. It's like a people station. It's like they're not talking, he's on the show. He's going to be on the Celtics. Now, I know later on they're going to ask these questions, but you have him on the show, and what I see is clips about if there's a problem between him and LeBron James, not stuff about how you think you're going to fit with the Celtics and playing with Brad Stevens. Or do you can even ask, can you think you could beat Cleveland? Anything like that. Can you beat Golden State? There's many things you could say, but instead, ESPN always looking for the drama angle. And this is the thing that I want to mention. Maybe Kyrie has no problem with LeBron James. Maybe Kyrie has absolutely no problem with LeBron James. And I'll explain. He plays in Cleveland. I don't like the NBA draft system. I don't like none of the league's draft system because I just feel like in life, and I always like to compare it to life, if you're a top lawyer or a top doctor, you don't get drafted. You don't fucking get drafted. If you're an actor and you're multi-talented and people think, you don't get drafted to a director. What kind of shit is that? You choose. Apparently, what is it? Somebody drowning over there? What's going on? Anyway, that's Manhattan for you. So, my thing is, in the NBA, you have this draft. You don't have no control over where you go. And you get drafted by Cleveland or Utah. Because nobody's talking about Gordon Hayward. He left a good team too. The team that literally was built around him. He literally left that team who was building with him. Okay? And nobody's talking about that, but maybe they'll get to that. But instead, ESPN wants to cover the drama angle. But maybe he just doesn't want to be in Cleveland. Don't get me wrong, Boston's cold too, but Boston is championship city. Can't front on that. Boston's where the championships go. I hate to say it. You got the Patriots, you got the Celtics, you got the Red Sox. I mean, it's championship city, and they know their sports. And Ohio knows their sports as well. But my thing is, plus, you a Celtic. Celtics are probably, even though the Patriots been good so long, and the Red Sox, I can argue that Celtics still own Boston. You can't tell me that the Cavaliers own Ohio. That would be Ohio State, the college. But besides all of that, again, you don't get to choose where you play. Not only that, he might not have any problem with LeBron. He might be like, LeBron, that's my boy. But I know he's going to leave. LeBron, see, and this is not a bad thing. LeBron did that shit to Wade. They was in the finals. He looked over there. He saw Kyrie. He said, I'm making my escape. That's what he do. And the funny thing about that is this LeBron to LA talk. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't even think it makes sense for LeBron. He's the biggest star in the game, so he doesn't need LA. He doesn't need that fucking market. I mean, I don't get caught up in the market stuff. A lot of times, New York market is still New York market. LA market is still LA market. However, when you're at the level of a Steph Curry, a Kevin Durant, a LeBron James, the market doesn't matter. You're bigger than the market. LA is a destination for players like a Paul George, who's very good, but is not a household name. So I could see him going in. Even Russell Westbrook, even though he's kind of a household name, and when I say household name, I mean the average person that doesn't know anything about, really know much about sports, but they know about events or things like that. And you say to them, if you say to the average person that don't know sports, they don't really know much, but you say, you ever heard of LeBron James? They be like, isn't that basketball player, right? Like, they're going to know something. And that's why players who are like Paul George, who are really good, go to a place like LA or New York so they can get their name out there. I bet you more people know Carmelo Anthony than Paul George. Probably more people know than Carmelo Anthony than Russell Westbrook, because he's in New York. But LeBron James is already at the apex. There's no higher. And I don't know why would he go to the West just to lose. That Laker team, I don't care if they get LeBron James and Paul George, they're still going to lose. They're still going to lose. They're still going to lose. They're still going to be behind Houston, behind the Spurs. It makes no sense when you can go to the finals every year, or at least be in contention. Now, look around the East. There's some teams, he fits right into, like the Wizards. They can't pay him, but he fits. But anyway, I'm not talking about him. I want to get back to ESPN and Kyrie, and I felt that he was very candid. And this is the thing that in today's generation, I really respect Kyrie. Kyrie's like, look, dude, I'm not answering your fucking questions. I don't have a problem with LeBron. No matter how many ways you ask me, I don't have a fucking problem with him. Or if I do, I ain't gonna tell you. And the funny thing about the media, they got to be the most sensitive. The funny thing about the media is that they're the most sensitive group of damn people I know, besides Donald Trump. They're so sensitive. Now, I listen to everybody in the media is killing him. They killing him. And it's like, y'all are so sensitive, and they stick together. That's one thing about the media. They stick together. They have each other's back. That's cool. But my thing is, look, man, what he did to me, he has his father in his life. His father's there with him. And I'm going to show you a contrast between him and Kevin Durant, who has his mother in his corner. No negativity, no shade. I'm just going to show you a little difference. You see, Kyrie has a father who continues to mentor him on what being a man is, what being an alpha is, what all of that is. And one of the things of that is looking a man in the eye and said, look, I made a decision for me and mine. Respect that. See, people don't understand that's really street shit, to be honest with you. When you look a man in the eye and say, yo, this is what I've done, respect it. That means, yo, you need to shut the fuck up. You need to stop asking me these dumbass questions. You're not getting anything out of me. And then I heard Bomani Jones, somebody I like a lot, said, then why did you go up there? You knew they were going to ask the questions. I go up there because I'm a star. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't I get airtime? Why wouldn't I go up there for the people to see me? So what? Y'all might ask me some Celtic questions, but I'm not giving you what you want. Sort of like a politician, yes, because a politician goes on a show and will not answer your questions and will push his agenda. Fine. You know what? Sometimes with the media, you got to use them like they're trying to use you. See, what they were trying to do is get some shit out of Kyrie so they can have future shows. That's the game. The reason why the entire ESPN is upset about it, because if Kyrie says, well, we had some issues, every single ESPN show is going to talk about it. From First Take to Sports Nation, all the national shows, some of the local shows, they all going to be talking about it. They're going to literally build shows around whatever he says about LeBron. And he's like, look, I'm not having any of that, because if I don't nip this shit, they're going to keep asking me. And maybe they will ask him throughout the season, because again, I just want Kyrie to say, what does this have to do with basketball? He kind of said that and said, look, it's a team sport. It's a team sport. It's a team sport. I'm a grown-up. And you got to understand something, that what I don't respect about a lot of these reporters is Kyrie is what, 24, 25-year-old? He's a baby. He's a young man. And y'all expecting him to be polished like some 50-year-old politician? Come on, man. He's not going to be perfect, but he just told you, listen, there's nothing to tell you. And now he ain't going to shit on it. What if he would have came out now? What if he'd have said, nah, the truth is I don't have no problem with LeBron. I just don't want to live in Cleveland. I think the place is just boring. I don't like it. It's boring. It's just, there's nothing to do out there. I wanted to get the hell out of there in the worst way. What if he said that? Then people in Cleveland going to be mad. So understand, when somebody's just trying to say, listen, I ain't answering no questions, what you gonna do? And they tried from every fucking angle to get that drama, because again, see, people don't understand with these things, with ESPN and stuff like this, and I went a little long with this. I didn't mean to go so long with this. But with ESPN and all these news shows, they have meetings. They sit around and they talk and they say, okay, what are we gonna do with this? And what we're going to ask Kyrie, and then, you know, they throwing things around, and I'm sure it probably was like, well, let's try our best to get something out about him and LeBron, because that could lead to future shows. Come on. And he was like, yo, that's not happening. I ain't got nothing to tell you. So there's other angles. Now I want to say something that I realized that what's his name? Mark Cuban had said, and I thought that was a great idea for the draft. He says he doesn't think it should be an NBA draft. He thinks it should be more like a job fair. In other words, it should. I believe that it should not be an NBA draft. And then the first thing is going to come is, hey, oh, well, then Golden State's just going to get stronger and the best teams are going to get stronger. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. When the motherfucker coming out of high school or coming out of college after 1 year, he ain't gonna want to go to Golden State to sit on the bench. Like, say, for example, Markelle Fultz, who was the number one. Well, yeah, he was the number one pick. He wasn't. If they had like an open negotiation with all 32 teams, I can guarantee you he wasn't going to Golden State. He wasn't going to go to Golden State and sit on the bench. So people don't understand is that if you allow players to actually choose their team, there's less chance of them leaving. It makes complete sense. You want stability, let these motherfuckers choose. That's the only way you're going to have some stability. Don't get me wrong, they might leave eventually. And then what happens is if they do it that way, and Mark Cuban is also right, if they do it this way, what's going to happen is those franchises who are not running their franchise correctly, they're not going to get the good players. Plain and simple. But I think they should have a system with all the players, top 10, all, you know, and they be able to meet with every team or whatever teams they choose. Maybe they have a list of teams. I'm a banker. I want to check out Chase, Citibank, Bank of America, and everybody else. I'm going to see what happens after this. Fuck it. How is that an unfair advantage? I don't think it is. Like, for example, this year you got this Michael Porter kid who's supposed to be great and number one pick. You think he's going to choose a team with a small forward? You think he's going to choose Golden State with Kevin Durant? Or Cleveland with LeBron James? He's not going to do that. So I think that it's a really good system with players. Because one thing I'll tell you about a young player, that's why when they get drafted by these teams, usually they're just happy to make the NBA. Even if they're number one picks, they're just happy that their journey led them to the NBA. So when teams like Cleveland Cavaliers sign players, when teams like, Utah Jazz sign players, they're just happy to make the league. Now, some people will say, well, if players are allowed to choose where they're going, maybe they don't want to go to Utah. Maybe they don't want to go to Memphis. I beg to differ, because you got agents and you got people going to say, listen, Utah has no point guard right now. I know they have Donovan Mitchell, who's a combo, but Utah hasn't, and I think he's going to be awesome this year. He's a sleeper. He's my sleeper for Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to be awesome. Awesome. I'm telling you, I think he's going to be a star. I really do believe that. People are going to be shocked. But anyway, let me get back to it. So I think that players will choose where they're going to get the most playing time, especially young players. They're not going to be like, oh, I need to win. Nah, motherfuckers want to prove themselves when they first come in the league. The upperclassmen may say, I want to go to a winning situation, but most of the young players, nah. You know? Now, I can see, being that a lot of teams don't have centers, I can see the centers wanting to go to maybe a winning team. But I think that's just the better way to do it. I think if you open it up, the people who runs their organizations the best will have the best shots at the best players. That's just life. Because guess what? This system that they have currently in the NBA draft system, it's not working. Now they're talking about the top 3 teams have a 14% chance. It does not matter. Some teams been picking in the top 10 for 10 fucking years and they still suck. Since Dwight Howard left Orlando, they're on their second rebuild. They rebuilding again, and they never even made it to the playoffs. They rebuilding again. So bad management is the problem with these teams. It's not draft position. It's not where they're located. It's bad management. Anyway, let me move on from that. I meant to show the contrast or the difference between Kyrie and KD. I will get to some Knicks talk, folks. Sorry about this. It's just hot right now. Hope you listen all the way through, because I got some goodies for you. So, Kevin Durant. I told y'all early on, if you listen to the podcast, go back. I think I even titled it, Kevin Durant is a sucker, because I felt like he was a sucker because the way he dealt with his supposed to be his best friend, supposed to be his boy, Russell Westbrook, and it's not that he left. I always said that. It's not that he left. It's the fact that you didn't even call your boy. This is not a Kyrie LeBron situation. And by the way, Kyrie and LeBron are just co-workers. Sometimes you have co-workers that you cool with, you work with, and when you out, you out. Fuck it, I'm out. I'll see you later. If I pass through, I say what's up. That's it. That's all. But anyway, Russ was supposed to be his boy. Now, he didn't let Russ know. Okay, maybe he didn't want to let Russ know. Maybe Russ would have leaked it, or somehow it would have got out. All right, no problem. So after he left, he proceeded to throw shots at Russ. He proceeded subliminal shots, because that's what a bitch does. I'm sorry, I'm calling it like I see it. You know, I'm calling it like I see it. See, I come from a different era. If I got a problem with a dude, I ain't trying to fight you. Okay, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to be Mr. Tough Guy, but if I got a problem with a dude, I'm going to step to him and I'm going to say, listen, man, this is not good. We have an issue here, here, and here. How can we resolve this? If we can't, okay, well, let's just avoid each other, because we don't need to deal with it. That's it. But I'm going to step to you. I'm not going to walk around with animosity or some kind of issue underneath the surface and take subliminal bitch-ass shots, because that's what that is. Passive-aggressive shit. That's not for men. That's not what men do. That's not what grown-ups do. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to diss women like that. That's not what grown-ups do. Grown-ups handle their business. So anyway, so he didn't contact Russ. I mean, they went through a damn near whole season. He didn't speak to Russell Westbrook like they had an issue. Like they were fucking. I'm like, wait a minute. Dude, all you did is leave. So what happened was, I believe, what I believe with Kevin Durant is he felt guilty. He felt bad. Don't get me wrong, I've had this issue. Sometimes I don't call a friend and I'm like, I fucked up. And I let time go by and I'm like, it's getting worse. And then you just got to pick up the phone. Like they said, pick up the phone, baby. So Kevin Durant, to show you, to show you the little sucker shit he be doing. So he has, I guess, an extra Twitter account. And he has a Twitter account that he uses to defend himself. Yes, you heard me. Like, all right, for example, my name is Greg, and then say I'm famous, and then I create another Twitter account and call it John. And anytime somebody asks a question about Greg, John says, well, I think Greg just didn't want to be in OKC because it just was a bad... he didn't like playing there or some old bullshit, right? Well, in his case, Kevin Durant forgot to switch the account. Probably was puffing on some weed. They all smoke weed. He probably was high off that kush. And he decided, and he wrote that he didn't like playing for OKC. The team wasn't any good. He didn't like playing for the coach, Donovan. But he didn't he put that the way he wrote it in third person, but didn't realize that he wrote it from the Kevin Durant account with the check on it. So it came directly from him. Now, one thing I give him credit for, he did stand up and say, he said some stupid things. So he didn't deny that it was him. He didn't deny that. So I give him some respect for that. Maybe he's growing up on that end. However, again, you see the sucker shit this dude go through? He's a grown man. Who creates an account to defend himself? Who does that? Who creates... you can't... If that's not the highest level of bitch-assness I've ever seen in my life, this nigga created an imaginary friend to defend him. I know what I'm talking about when I talk about these people. I understand personalities, man. That's why I got on him, because I'm like, yo, there's a flaw in this dude's personality. And again, now what I was comparing him to Kyrie, has Kyrie said, listen, this is my decision. He even later on told Max Kellerman, when Max Kellerman said a whole bunch of words, he was like, yo, that makes absolutely no sense. And people are mad at Kyrie like he's ducking questions. No, I'm telling you straight up, I made a decision as a man. And as a man, I ain't telling you shit. Period. There's nothing to tell you. But Kevin Durant, on the other hand, instead of he could have spoke to Donovan. See, and that's the problem. Maybe he did have an issue with Donovan. But I bet you he never went to him and said, yo, I don't really like this offense. I don't like how we playing. I don't think he's ever went to them. Because he doesn't seem like that kind of dude. It's a character flaw. He ain't perfect. He's a great player. But it's a character flaw. He do shit like, I don't know, just not like a grown-up would do. Not like a grown-up. That's some weird shit. And like I said, that's the epitome of sucker shit. I'm going to be a third person and talk greasy about my old team. Get the fuck out of here. See, if this was the old days, when he come down the lane, Cantor need to knock him on his ass on that bullshit. Anyway, now we get to the Knicks talk. I'm so sorry about that. The Knicks talk gonna end up being short too, right? Because there's really no Knick news. There's no Knick news going on. There's really nothing except for Mike Beasley, who's perfect. Like I think he's, you know what? I remember when the NBA draft took place, when he was getting drafted with Derrick Rose, I actually was hoping that we can get Mike Beasley. And I remember when you know how they show the people's homes, and they showed the people's homes, when the Knicks didn't get the second pick, or didn't get a chance to select him or whatever, I saw he was disappointed. And a lot of young players, when they come in the league, they're delusional, kind of like, oh, I can go to New York and turn things around, and maybe they could, but that they want to go to the biggest stage, And he was disappointed. And I don't know, he seems to be excited about his opportunity. He's still only 27, 26, 27, 28, something like that. He seems excited, but trust me, I'm not super excited because Beasley is what he is at this point, but he's still a professional scorer, so gotta respect him. But he was like, I'm your favorite player. Even though he got that from Jay-Z, I'm your favorite rapper. So anyway, so I love his confidence. You gotta have irrational confidence if you're gonna make it in the NBA. If you're gonna make it in any major league, you know, baseball, basketball, football, you gotta have irrational confidence. If you're gonna make it as a singer, an actor, an entrepreneur, even a salesman, your confidence has to be your greatest attribute, because you're gonna have people left and right telling you can't do it. So that's why people always laugh at NBA players and say, you know, like when Stephon Marbury said that he thinks he's one of the he's one of the top point guards in the league. People laughed at him as if he's supposed to say, oh no, I think I'm about number 15. There's no NBA player Jarrett Jack think he's the best NBA player in the league. It's just how it is. You got to have that irrational confidence. Shit, Kobe took all them shots thinking he was going to hit every single one. And he probably could tell you why he missed each one that he missed. He probably could tell you why. Oh, I leaned a little bit to the left. I mean, that's just what these guys, that's how these guys are built. So, training camps are coming. So soon we'll be able to actually talk about Knicks basketball. Actual practices and actual exhibition games. I hope you're ready. For one, like I said, I want to see KP take the next step, but I'll get into that because I'm gonna do a podcast on what I'm hoping this season, what comes out of this season. And something else I was talking about, I had asked who should make the next Knicks song. I got a good suggestion. One person said Jadakiss, the Locks. That was a good one. I like that. But I'm thinking now that I think about it, I'm thinking a little younger. You know, a little younger. I'm thinking somebody hotter. I'm thinking somebody like Cardi B. Only thing is, I don't know if she knows anything about basketball. You know, I'm thinking somebody like, I'm still thinking Fat Joe and Remy Ma. Believe it or not, I'm thinking designer. I know we won't understand what the hell he's saying, but it'll probably be with a hot beat, and he'll probably just say Knicks. What do you say? I got bras in Atlanta. I got Knicks in Atlanta. Like, that's all. Knicks. I got Knicks in Atlanta. I'm sorry, I'm bugging out, but I can see him just doing something and it just be catchy. You know, and Cardi B is the hottest. She's hot right now. You know how it goes. Instead of saying little bitch, you know how I think her song goes on, little bitch. She can say, I don't know what the fuck. I can't even do it. I'm not an MC, but you know she can put something together. These are red bottoms. You come through the Knicks, you're gonna have bloody shoes. Some shit. I don't know. It'll be catchy. And that's why I kind of wouldn't mind somebody who does trap type music doing the Knicks song, because it'll probably be easy to sing to. It'll be simple, because trap music is nursery rhyme music. It's like nursery rhymes. It's simple. The beats are very slow. There's a bounce to it. You know, fuck it. Put that shit on. Knicks. You know, and have that shit go. And have them rock that shit. It'll probably be hot. Who knows? Or maybe they can have a lesser known star. But God, please, God, I beg you. Change that song. Don't play that song. Just please. Oh, God, I never hated this song more in my life. Anyway, folks, that's about it. Because there ain't nothing going on in Nickland. But I had to just put a podcast for y'all guys to enjoy. And I want to send a shout out to the nighttime crew and the overnight crew. Because I noticed I get a lot of listens in the overnight period. Unless it could be around the world. But I'm figuring it's the overnight crew. I know how that is. I've done the graveyard shift and need something to listen to. So that's why I'm going to put this one up tonight. I'm doing it tonight. I'm going to put it up tonight. Anyway, no news, I guess, is good news. This has been episode number 45 of Knicks Home Court. I am your host. My name is Greg Armstrong. Peace, everyone.